Just going across to Shravan in just a bit. But there is a big buzz. In fact, we're keeping our focus on the story in Maharashtra. There's a big buzz in Mumbai, in fact, as we keep our close watch on the development. Shravan is back. Shravan, is there more? Is there more? Is Ajit Pawar keeping his options open again?
It is. Niranjan, if you can. Well, in fact, there's a massive speculation as to what lies ahead. Will the NCP now break away from the Mahavikas Aghadi? If you carefully look at what the former Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, essentially has to say. Number one, he does not attend an official program. Number two, with regards to the Prime Minister's degree, he perhaps was one of the first leaders in Maharashtra to basically say that this is a non-issue. A matter which was then backed by NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar, who once again said that there is absolutely no issue when it comes to the Prime Minister's degree. Now, if you look at the well-crafted statements that have essentially been made by Sharad Pawar, remember, over the last few months, the Congress party and in particular the others, the Trinamool Congress and others in the opposition have essentially been demanding a JPC on the Adani matter. In fact, when it comes to Sharad Pawar, remember, he's made it very clear that whether at all can you really trust a Hindenburg research, who's really behind it. These are some questions that have now been raised by Sharad Pawar himself, and that is the reason why all eyes on what exactly is going to now happen in the Mahavikas Aghadi. Earlier in the day, Maharashtra BJP President Bawankule himself has made this statement that in the upcoming 2024 elections, you would have several of the opposition leaders who would be joining the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, whether this is going to happen as far as Ajit Pawar is concerned, that's not known. But there are enough indications that we are looking at. One, with regards to the statements that have been made by Ajit Pawar and the discomfort that Ajit Pawar himself has had with this entire alliance. And it was out in the open back in 2019, that this entire alliance with the Shiva Sena and, for that matter, the Congress party appeared to be quite unnatural, and something that we have seen that entire discomfort on his face. Now, when it comes to the support that he enjoys amongst the NCP leaders, there is a clear faction. One faction which has been openly supporting Ajit Pawar, and that the number seems to be swelling. Now, which is it, the other side, that is Supriya Sule herself. Remember, if you see the division within the NCP, it is Ajit Pawar who handles the Maharashtra-related affairs of the NCP. And when it comes to Delhi, it is Supriya Sule. It is Supriya Sule who seems to be quite uncomfortable with the positioning that has been taken. There has been no word that has been, made by Supriya Sule at this point in time. But it's very clear that there is a discomfort that one can sense right now, and Ajit Pawar constantly is making one statement after the other. If you really see him being the LOP in Maharashtra Assembly too, he hasn't been so very vocal as much as he has in the last few days, starting from the Prime Minister's education, then on the Adani matter. He has openly supported what Sharad Pawar had to say, and that has certainly sent the opposition parties in a complete tizzy. We've asked that question of the Vadra Congress in Maharashtra. Nana Patole himself is saying that they are looking into this entire matter. Close eye, close watch on what's really going to happen in the upcoming civic polls. Because if you see right now, the litmus test for them, for the Mahavikas Aghadi, would essentially be the BMC elections, which unlikely to happen anytime soon. But having said that, if the Mahavikas Aghadi gets a setback in the form of NCP pulling out, remember, then there is no alliance to begin with. Now, whether at all Ajit Pawar will break away with a few of his MLAs, few of his supporters, the numbers are in double digits, but whether that's going to happen or not is something that Ajit Pawar, he himself, is exploring. One thing that that we can say with certainty is that he's already exploring multiple options. At this stage, he hasn't made any word about what lies ahead, what's the future like, but it is abundantly clear that the Mahavikas Aghadi is in trouble.
All right, what we'll do is we'll listen into what Congress has to say about all these different permutations and combinations that, ladies and gentlemen, are being discussed. And do remember, this is just not a story that's going to be then limited to the state of Maharashtra. The clear impact, if this happens, and if there could be a break in the MVA, the state of Maharashtra could have on the big elections of 2024. The Congress already indicating that they are keeping a close watch on all these developments. In fact, they are a little uncomfortable with the kind of reports that have come in. And what we'll also do is, before we play out those reactions that we've heard from the Congress party, let's also understand why the Congress today could be in a tough spot. Because Maharashtra, again, Shravan, is the only state where Sharad Pawar, ensured that the BJP stays out of power. So he did what many said is going to be unthinkable, is unimaginable, that you get, Uddhav Thackeray, you get the Congress, and you get the NCP. Something like this could have engineered only by Sharad Pawar. Now, the very fact this time that you have multiple indications that have come in from Sharad Pawar, who said, not just on the entire Adani issue where he's broken ranks with the rest of the opposition, much with the Congress. On the Veer Savarkar issue, we've seen a lot of discomfiture, if I can use that word, between different alliance partners. Then you've had Eknath Shinde, who was just in Ayodhya yesterday. So if you just connect the dots, then Ajit Pawar saying only those people who lose elections blame the EVMs. So there is definitely something brewing. And why is this story important, Shravan? Not just for the perspective of the state of Maharashtra, but also opposition unity. Because Maharashtra, many said, Shravan, is a case study to figure out that if you can have an MVA that could be successful in Maharashtra, could Sharad Pawar then be able to structure together something on the same scale versus the BJP come 2024?
Well, in fact, Deepthi, there is a chronology to all of this, with, of course, the statement that has been made by Sharad Pawar on the Adani matter. And remember, when Rahul Gandhi was essentially targeting Veer Savarkar, and it has got its direct impact in the state of Maharashtra, and that is the reason why you've had Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis going on that Savarkar rally. It has its own significance on the ground, and that's exactly why Sharad Pawar actually dialed Sonia Gandhi, and the message that was sent across that perhaps Rahul Gandhi needs to back off when it comes to Veer Savarkar, and it isn't a political issue. Even just about 24 hours ago, Sharad Pawar made that statement that if you are essentially focusing on Prime Minister's education, then you are basically falling into a trap. He says that you should be cornering the government when it comes to unemployment, when it comes to inflation, but certainly not the Prime Minister's degree. All the statements that have been made by Sharad Pawar as well as Ajit Pawar have been extremely well crafted, and it only goes on to indicate that something is brewing. Now, how do we essentially come to that kind of a conclusion? That's also because, remember, within the NCP, there are two factions. One faction that is largely led by Ajit Pawar himself, and they appear to be slightly more comfortable having an alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party. It has happened back in 2019 with roughly over 20 MLAs actually supporting Ajit Pawar. But at that point in time, this question was raised whether at all Sharad Pawar was actually aware of what was happening, that early morning oath-taking ceremony that took place. Many say that Sharad Pawar was well aware of it, and it was in fact engineered by none other than Sharad Pawar himself, something that he hasn't publicly ever admitted. But the question still remains that could Ajit Pawar have done all of this without the blessing of Sharad Pawar? On the other side, the other faction that is, that is led by Supriya Sule. In terms of numbers, Ajit Pawar is well ahead, and Supriya Sule perhaps is stuck, in the wheels when it comes here in the national capital, because she would largely like to be seen with the opposition parties, and they are essentially indicating that there is a large constituent in Maharashtra who would not be supporting the NCP if they go into an alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party, and they say that this is for their survival. But having said that, there is no future is what Ajit Pawar essentially sees, and that's the reason why he's already started exploring multiple options. And one by one, every statement that has been made so far by Ajit Pawar, if you really look at it, has only gone on to indicate that there's something that is actually brewing within the NCP at this point in time. That's the reason why there have been multiple local issues, which could have actually cornered the Eknath Shinde government. Somewhere down the line, Ajit Pawar has also stepped back and he hasn't really cornered the Maharashtra government. So, a lot of speculations that are actually doing the rounds right now in Maharashtra, whether at all, there has been some meetings that has already taken place, because some reports essentially suggesting that earlier this month, sometime around the 4th and 5th of this month, there was a meeting that was conducted by Ajit Pawar. There were several top leaders who were present from the NCP in that particular meeting, and in that there was essentially a discussion that has essentially taken place with regards to what's the real future of the Mahavikas Aghadi. Because if you really look at it, the Shiva Sena under Uddhav Thackeray does not really enjoy that support, does not have the MLAs, or even for that matter, the cadre seems to have deserted Uddhav Thackeray. So that basically makes it very clear that for the future of Mahavikas Aghadi is in complete doldrums. And perhaps that is one of the reasons why you're looking at Ajit Pawar right now looking at, exploring such options. But this comes at a time when you have the state president of Bharatiya Janata Party making it abundantly clear that in the days to come, there would be more leaders who would be joining the Bharatiya Janata Party. So the two options: one, are you really looking at a breakaway of the NCP led by Ajit Pawar himself with a few MLAs, or is there a possibility that Ajit Pawar and a few other MLAs actually join the Bharatiya Janata Party? These are the two options that you're really looking at. But things certainly heating up right now, Deepthi, on the ground. A lot of speculations doing the rounds within the political parties right now in the state of Maharashtra.
Okay, interesting, because Maharashtra has 48 seats to the Lok Sabha, and every seat is very, very important. After the state of Uttar Pradesh that sends 80 MPs to the parliament, you have the state of Maharashtra with 48 in its kitty, and this is exactly why every seat matters. The BJP already has indicated that there could be a huge change in the number of members moving towards the BJP, and like I said, if the MV experiment fails in the state of Maharashtra, there is all possible likelihood that it could fail also on the grand stage come 2024. That's what the BJP right now believes. What we'll also do is quickly listen in to Nana Patole. He's spoken up and he does say, we are closely watching what's going on.
अबे वो मेरा एक कहावत है कि आप कर्नाटक में जाके देखिए, बोल रहा हूँ उनको, कर्नाटक में क्या बीजेपी की हालत है वो थोड़ा जाके देखिए और बाद में ये सवाल महाराष्ट्र में कीजिए.
So right now there isn't much that the Congress can say apart from saying we are closely monitoring the situation. Many say that the Congress itself is feeling betrayed. They do not know what the next move of Sharad Pawar is essentially going to be. But why are we playing out this image on the left of your screens? That is, remember from 2019, where close to for about 72 hours is where you had Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar deciding to join hands to form the government. And many say that could we be looking at a rerun of that entire episode come 2023, just exactly a year before 2024? And if that happens, what could the Congress do? The Congress till now, remember, has partners like the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena. It has partners like the NCP. And in case you have the NCP deciding to walk out of the alliance, and if, there is speculation, Shravan, indicating that Ajit Pawar again could be, on one of his disappearing act. He disappeared much close to, when he actually was seen with Devendra Fadnavis. That was in 2019. But are things, literally right now moving in that direction? Again, no one knows. But like I said, this is speculation. And why is this speculation so important for 2024? Because this is again a test of opposition unity. If partners of the Congress in terms of the NCP and the Uddhav Sena possibly are not happy today with the Rahul Gandhi-led Congress there in the state of Maharashtra, what will they do? What will they do? How will they align with the Congress come 2024?
Well, in fact, things have certainly changed for the Vadra Congress in Maharashtra. The reason essentially being there was a point in time when they were seen as the big brother in the alliance with the NCP. But if you really look at the numbers right now, the numbers are certainly in favor of the Nationalist Congress Party led by Sharad Pawar himself. If you see in the last elections, over 50 seats actually that was won by NCP clearly indicated that the NCP was turning out to become one of the strong opposition parties in the state of Maharashtra. But things have certainly changed thereafter. What Sharad Pawar did manage to stitch was an unholy alliance. The fact that Rajasthan Congress and the Shiva Sena actually came together was simply unthinkable. And let's not forget about one thing. If the Shiva Sena and the Bharatiya Janata Party was coming to power, that was essentially because that is what they had gone to the people with, the mandate that they had initially received. But thereafter things actually changed over this entire Chief Minister's post. But coming back to answering your question with regards to what really happens right now for Rajasthan Congress, that was that was never the concern right now, given the fact that it is the fate of the NCP and the Shiva Sena led by Uddhav Thackeray. And it really seems that right now Uddhav Thackeray is on his clutches, because all of this was essentially engineered by none other than Sharad Pawar himself. The very fact that it was Sharad Pawar who had warned Uddhav Thackeray about the rebellion that was brewing within his own party with regards to Eknath Shinde, that he was completely dissatisfied. All of this was actually warned by Sharad Pawar himself. So he's certainly aware of what's really happening on the ground. Now the question here is that is Ajit Pawar really doing all of this without the blessings of Sharad Pawar, or is it with the blessings of Sharad Pawar? That is something that one will have to wait and watch, because if you really look at the statements that have come one by one, the statement on Adani, the very fact that Sharad Pawar today has questioned the very basis of this entire investigation. He goes on to say that one has to really find out what's the intention of this Hindenburg research, because he says that I don't know what is this Hindenburg. Secondly, with regards to the joint parliamentary committee that was basically being demanded by the opposition leaders. Now, you have had some of the Rajasthan Congress members now backtracking. Now they are saying that Sharad Pawar essentially has indicated that there is no need for a JPC, primarily because 50% of the committee members are those who are coming in from the ruling party. So where is the question of a fair sort of an investigation to be carried out? I mean, that's one section of the Rajasthan Congress essentially indicating. But as far as Sharad Pawar is concerned, on the statement of Adani, you've had Ajit Pawar coming the very next day and saying that he is our tall leader, and we support the statement that he has made. As a political leader, we meet several business leaders, be it Mukesh Ambani or for that matter someone from the Tatas. We have met several of them. That is in response to that ludicrous statement that was put out by Alka Lamba with regards to Sharad Pawar's meeting with Gautam Adani. There too you've had Ajit Pawar coming out in full support of Sharad Pawar. Then you have had that sudden disappearance of Ajit Pawar, which seems to have been rebutted by him. He says that he has gone through a personal problem, and that is the reason why he had to step out. But the fact of the matter is that he set the cat amongst the pigeons.
All right, Shravan, I thank you right now for the moment. Sharad Pawar, ladies and gentlemen, is 82. He doesn't say anything that he should not say. He knows when he is making a statement, and he does understand the larger import of making that statement. The reason why there is so much of speculation today on the larger role that Sharad Pawar could be taking in, and this, for a moment, remember, is not just limited to the NCP and its own political fortune. This clearly is going to be a huge thing if that happens for the big elections of 2024. Let's shift our focus now to the other story also, away from politics, that we've been tracking. This is the Air India Delhi-London flight that had to turn around because of an unruly passenger on board. According to an airline official, this passenger has a fight with the flight crew members in mid-air. Then the airline lodges a complaint with the Delhi Airport Police on the entire incident. The passenger is currently at the police station at the Delhi Airport, and he right now is under investigation.
Another mid-air scare incident reported as Delhi-London-bound Air India Airlines after scheduled departure returns back to the national capital. The airlines were supposed to depart from the national capital at 6:50 a.m. After departure and few minutes in the air mid-air, there was an incident reported of the unruly behavior of a passenger. After many verbal and written warnings, which is in an official statement by Air India, the passengers continued to misbehave with the airline's crew, and not only did he misbehave but also caused physical harm to the 2 cabin crew of the Air India Airlines. After that, the pilot in command took cognizance of the entire incident and decided to return back to national capital. After landing back to the national capital, the unruly passenger was handed over to the police officials, and also a formal complaint has been lodged by the Air India with the police officials, and FIR has been registered, and also the entire matter has been reported to the DGCA. According to the airport police officials, the inquiry and the investigation in this entire formal complaint is being looked into. But right now what we are learning is that now the Delhi bound London Heathrow flight is rescheduled to depart in around afternoon. Along with video journalist Parvez Alam, Harsha Chandwani for Republic TV.
Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you, without the system approving it.
Mediation will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court. Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you, without the system approving it.
Mediation will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
Welcome you watching. This is exclusive with me, Shah. We'll say the big political story that nobody is talking about. Short while back, we spoke about what's really happening in the state of Maharashtra. Now, we would be focusing on what's really happening in Rajasthan. The big political scoop that we're getting to you tonight on This Is Exclusive. But up first, these are the headlines we're tracking for you at this hour. Rift between Sachin Pilot and Congress widens, sources reveal it's a make or break for the Congress leader. The big political story that nobody is talking about, sources tell Republic that Ajit Pawar is looking to explore his options once again. Amit Shah visits border areas near LAC in Arunachal Pradesh, rattled China opposes visit. Amritpal's closest aide, Papalpreet Singh, arrested from Amritsar. Sources suggest he will be taken to Assam. Elon Musk sparks a row with the BBC, labels the broadcaster as a government-funded media. Our focus right now is what's really happening in Rajasthan, where the former Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot's activities are only causing increasing nervousness within the Vadra Congress as it preps to seek re-election in Rajasthan later this year. But with just about 8 months to go for the Rajasthan election, the party may confront yet another crisis as the infighting within the Congress essentially widens. It is, however, not unknown that Sachin Pilot will go this time, whether he is looking at for a leadership change or more. Tonight, we get to you what's really brewing, what's really happening in Rajasthan. It's either make or break for Sachin Pilot is all set to escalate the fight. Speculations are essentially on around Sachin Pilot planning to float his own party. And the other big option that many are exploring, that whether this is an attempt to basically push out Ashok Gehlot. What's actually going wrong with the grand old party? Take a look at this report, and then we get to the supporters of Sachin Pilot who are now openly saying that it is make or break. It is time that the High Command of Vadra Congress takes that decision as far as future of Sachin Pilot is concerned.
Just months before the Rajasthan elections, the Vadra Congress is accusing the Vadra Congress of corruption.
जांच नहीं होगी, जब तथ्य सामने नहीं आएंगे, जब इंक्वायरी नहीं होगी, जब केस रजिस्टर नहीं होगा, जब तफ्तीश नहीं होगी, तब तक कैसे लोग मान लेंगे हमारी बात को? अगली बार जब हम जाएंगे कि भाजपा के हमारे साथी वसुंधरा जी की सरकार में जो कांड घोटाले हुए थे वो सही थे या गलत थे। मैं नहीं मानता हूँ कि सरकार में आने के बाद हमारे पास वो संकल्प शक्ति नहीं होगी कि हम उन तथ्यों को उजागर कर सकें, लेकिन दुर्भाग्यवश अभी तक इस पे कार्रवाई हुई नहीं है।
Sachin Pilot's supporter and Congress MLA Ved Prakash Solanki has made some startling revelations. He says that justice was not served to him, that he was made the minister but had no power. Listen to this.
हमारे सारे जो पूरे जो अधिकार हैं, वो शक्ति है, वो निर्णय करने के सब सचिन पायलट जी को दिए गए हैं। ये चीज़ें सब समय के दौर में ये सब लोग जानते हैं, राजस्थान की जनता जान रही है कि क्या स्थिति हो रही है। जो हमें ताकत दी गई, 4 मंत्री बनाकर अशोक गहलोत जी ने, हमने उस समय भी कहा था कि बहुत अच्छा काम किया, ऐतिहासिक काम किया है राजस्थान की धरती के ऊपर, कि 4 कैबिनेट मंत्री अभी तक नहीं बने, लेकिन कैबिनेट तो मंत्री नाम के बना दिए गए, लेकिन उनके पास में पावर तो आज तक में नहीं है।
The infighting comes as a time when the party is seeing an exodus of disgruntled leaders.
Now the Congress party is not bothered about nation building. Current Congress party only prioritize the interest of 2-3 particular individuals.
They don't interact with the people. They don't take the opinions of the leaders. There is an old saying which says, "My king is very intelligent. He doesn't think on his own. He doesn't listen to anyone's advice."
I think the focus of any political party should be to take up people-centric issues, not individual-centric issues. You should take up people-centric issues, try to solve them in a way it helps the people, and so that you win their faith and trust.
Who will save the Congress's sinking ship? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, that big political scoop only on Republic TV. What's the future of Sachin Pilot? In fact, one of his close aide, someone who's been supporting Sachin Pilot, legislator Ved Prakash Solanki, has now spoken to Republic TV. He's from Sachin Pilot camp and he's now spilled the beans. He says that there were many within the Rajasthan Congress who were given posts but not power. He also lashed out at the Congress High Command for the ignorance. We'll try and play that out in a short while from now. That big interview from the Sachin Pilot camp. Let's put out. Sachin Pilot camp has now spoken to Republic TV. They've essentially once again dared the High Command that it is time that they take the decision. Who exactly is going to lead the Congress party in the upcoming elections? Now, top sources indicating that Sachin Pilot could break away from the Congress party. He could either float his own party, or the other is that whether at all this is yet another attempt, a backdoor channel to try and push out Ashok Gehlot. Now that's the big political scoop coming in from Rajasthan. Let's play out that interview coming in from the Sachin Pilot camp. Then we'll go across to our reporters from outside Sachin Pilot's residence in Jaipur. What's really happening in that camp? And also we'll be joined by our political editor in the newsroom. Let's listen in to what one of the MLAs from Sachin Pilot's camp had to say.
देखिए, धरने में खास क्या रहेगा, इसमें खास वाली कोई चीज़ नहीं है। सचिन पायलट जी कल धरने पे बैठ रहे हैं, उपवास पे, एक दिन का उपवास पे, तो लोगों में जोश भी है, खरोश भी है। लोग चाहते हैं कि ऐसी क्या नौबत आ गई कि सचिन पायलट जी को धरने पे या उपवास पे बैठना पड़ रहा है। तो स्वतः ही जो कार्यकर्ता आएगा उसका अंदाज़ा किसी को भी नहीं होता, मुझे भी अंदाज़ा नहीं है कितने लोग आएंगे, लेकिन हमेशा सचिन पायलट जी का जब भी मूवमेंट रहा है तो अंदाजे से ज़्यादा लोग ही आए हैं। तो मुझे भी इतना अंदाज़ा है कि जहाँ जितना लोग सोच रहे हैं उससे ज़्यादा लोग ही आएंगे। लेकिन सरकार तो सोच रही है कि शहीद स्मारक पे धरना है तो छोटा मोटा ही होगा। नहीं, बिल्कुल वो तो सही कह रहे हैं। बिल्कुल जो छोटा मोटा ही होगा, तो हम भी चाहते हैं छोटा मोटा ही रहे, ज़्यादा बड़ा नहीं हो जाए जो दिक्कत आ जाए। हम भी चाह रहे हैं छोटा मोटा ही रहे।
तो ऐसी क्या नौबत पड़ी कि सरकार के खिलाफ ही, अपनी सरकार के खिलाफ ही, अपने मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ ही सचिन पायलट को धरने पे बैठने की नौबत पड़ रही है?
देखो, धरने पे बैठने की नौबत कोई अशोक गहलोत के खिलाफ तो वो बैठ नहीं रहे, इसलिए तो उपवास कर नहीं रहे कि अशोक गहलोत जी को हटाओ, इसलिए उपवास कर नहीं रहे। उनका मुख्य मुद्दा यही है कि जिन मुद्दों को लेके जनता के बीच में गए थे, जिन मुद्दों की बात हुई थी, चुनाव में वादा हुआ था कि भाई हमारी सरकार आएगी तो हम बीजेपी के राज में जो भ्रष्टाचार हुए थे उनकी जांच कराएंगे, और जो कुछ मुद्दे थे, जी खान घोटाला हो, उसकी सीबीआई जांच कराएंगे। ये माने अशोक गहलोत जी ने कहा था, तो सीबीआई जांच सौंप दें, सारा मुद्दा अपने आप क्लियर हो जाएगा।
लेकिन सचिन पायलट ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस जब से की है तब से बयानबाजी दिल्ली से भी शुरू हुई। जयराम रमेश ने कहा कि नहीं, हम तो अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, अशोक गहलोत जी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं।
तो जयराम रमेश जी बहुत सीनियर नेता हैं, वो कह दें अच्छा है कि खान घोटाले की जांच नहीं होनी चाहिए, अच्छी बात है कि जो करप्शन के जो मुद्दे हैं वो हम छोड़ दें। राहुल गांधी जो आवाज़ उठा रहे हैं वो सही है, या जयराम रमेश जी जो कह रहे हैं वो सही है? जो भ्रष्टाचार में, जब कांग्रेस कह रही है कि भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त हम प्रदेश देंगे, भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त प्रदेश देंगे, तो जिन्होंने भ्रष्टाचारियों ने भ्रष्टाचार किए हैं वो जब तक सलाखों के पीछे नहीं जाएंगे तो भ्रष्टाचार मिटेगा कैसे? तो यही बात हुई है कि जो भ्रष्टाचार की जांच की मांग की थी उनकी जांच कीजिए। माथुर आयोग को आपने संवैधानिक दर्जा नहीं दिया, सीबीआई की जांच आपने नहीं कराई, तो इसका मतलब लीपापोती करने का मामला है, अभी भी समय है।
लेकिन कर्नाटक चुनाव से ठीक पहले सचिन पायलट का ये कदम, उसके बाद 8 महीने बाद चुनाव राजस्थान में है, आपको नहीं लगता कि कहीं ना कहीं आलाकमान नाखुश होगा इस चीज़ से?
देखिए, नाखुश नहीं है, आलाकमान तो खुशी होता है कि कोई भी मुद्दे हों। लोकतांत्रिक पार्टी है कांग्रेस पार्टी, इसमें मुद्दों को, जो जनहित के मुद्दे हैं उनको उठाने का कभी भी आलाकमान ने मना नहीं किया। और ये मुद्दे हैं वो बीजेपी के खिलाफ हैं, कांग्रेस के खिलाफ नहीं है। हमने कोई ये मांग नहीं कि कांग्रेस में भ्रष्टाचार की जांच करा हुआ, हम वही बात कर रहे हैं, और सचिन पायलट जी ने भी वही कहा है कि जो बीजेपी के राज में जो भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है उसकी जांच कराई नहीं जानी चाहिए। जो माथुर आयोग बना था उसको संवैधानिक दर्जा देना चाहिए था।
लेकिन लोग पूछ रहे हैं कि सचिन पायलट के लिए आगे क्या होने वाला है?
आगे क्या, इसके बारे में सचिन पायलट जी बता दें कि हमारे सारे जो पूरे जो अधिकार हैं, वो शक्ति है, वो निर्णय करने के सब सचिन पायलट जी को दिए गए हैं। सचिन पायलट जी जो निर्णय लेंगे हम उनके साथ हैं।
लेकिन आगे आने वाले चुनाव में, विधानसभा चुनाव में क्या समीकरण बनेंगे? क्या पायलट साहब कांग्रेस के साथ रहेंगे कि नहीं रहेंगे? क्योंकि बातें बहुत सारी
परिस्थितियां हैं, वो समय पे बताएंगे। कोई चीज होंगी तो अभी कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं। सब कांग्रेस को पसंद करते हैं, कांग्रेस के साथ हैं। कांग्रेस को इतने सालों से हमने भी सब लोगों ने मिलके, जितनी हमारी उम्र है ना 46 साल, उस 46 साल में हम लोगों ने 30 साल कांग्रेस को दिए हैं। इसी तरह से सचिन पायलट ने कांग्रेस में अपने जो जान से जो मेहनत की है, जो पसीना बहाया था, जो प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी के अध्यक्ष थे, तो इसी तरह से लोगों के कहने से सचिन पायलट जी कोई कांग्रेस छोड़ के जाने वालों में नहीं है। हाँ,
लेकिन अगर नए समीकरण बनेंगे तो
अब नए पुराने समीकरण समय के अनुसार बदलेंगे तो जो क्या है, गला बचाने के लिए अगर कोई दबाएगा तो गला बचाने के लिए तो कोई ना कोई निर्णय लिया जाएगा।
अच्छा, तो आपको लग रहा है कि सचिन पायलट का कांग्रेस पार्टी राजस्थान में गला दबाने का काम कर रही है?
ये चीज़ें सब समय के दर्द में, ये सब लोग जानते हैं, राजस्थान की जनता जान रही है कि क्या स्थिति हो रही है और क्या स्थिति पायलट साहब की जा रही है, पायलट साहब के कार्यकर्ताओं की जा रही है। क्या स्थिति थी, क्या विकट स्थिति थी, अभी देखा नहीं है आपने कि दलित समुदाय के SC ST के लोग इतनी संख्या में, लाखों की संख्या में हुए और सरकार ने अभी तक उनके प्रतिनिधिमंडल को अभी तक बुलाया नहीं। इससे बड़ा धोखा दलित समाज के साथ में क्या हो सकता है? जो SC ST का वोट बैंक है, उनसे अभी तक उनको बुला के बातचीत नहीं की। क्या मुद्दे थे उनके? 2 अप्रैल के जो मुद्दे थे, 2 अप्रैल के जो केस लगे हुए थे ST ST के हमारे बच्चों के ऊपर, वो अभी तक वापस नहीं लगे। रोस्टर रजिस्ट्री का संधारण अभी तक नहीं किया गया। जो हमारे बैकलॉग के मुद्दे थे वो अभी तक अनसुलझे हैं। जो मैंने उस दिन भी कहा था कि जो हमें ताकत दी गई, 4 मंत्री बनाकर अशोक गहलोत जी ने, हमने उस समय भी कहा था कि बहुत अच्छा काम किया, ऐतिहासिक काम किया है राजस्थान की धरती के ऊपर, कि 4 कैबिनेट मंत्री अभी तक नहीं बने। लेकिन कैबिनेट तो मंत्री नाम के बना दिए गए, लेकिन उनके पास में पावर तो आज तक में नहीं है। 1 किलोमीटर की सड़कें वो दे नहीं सकते खुद के बेस पे। हमारे कैबिनेट मंत्री एक CSE PSC तक नहीं दे सकते हैं। तो जब हमारे मंत्रियों के पास में, खुद के पास में समाज को देने के लिए कुछ नहीं होगा तो कैसे कह सकते हैं उनके पास पावर है?
Joining us on this broadcast is senior Congress leader CP जोशी। जोशी साहब, रिपब्लिक टीवी से बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सीधा सवाल करूंगा, कहीं ना कहीं आपकी खुद के नेता आज अशोक गहलोत के खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, साफ तरीके। आई एम टोल्ड दैट CP जोशी फ्रॉम द BJP इज नाउ जॉइनिंग अस। जोशी साहब, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद रिपब्लिक टीवी से बात करने के लिए। सवाल ये उठाया जा रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं क्या आपको लगता है कि ये खुद कांग्रेस पार्टी खुद इसे ड्रामा के तौर से देख रही है, क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं कि अशोक गहलोत निकल जाए और सचिन पायलट आ जाए? क्या आपको लगता है जो कल की धरना की बात की जा रही है, एक तरह से ये पूरी तरह से एक ड्रामा किया जा रहा है? CP जोशी जी, we'll try and reconnect with some of those reactions now coming in from both camps. Let's also quickly go across to my colleague Niranjan. Before I do that, let's also put out that big breaking news now coming in as to what's really there right now in terms of the protest that is likely to be organized. It turns out that Sachin Pilot essentially is now trying to explore all possible options. One being that he could float his own party. The second is whether at all this entire rebellion that we have seen brewing over the last couple of months, is this completely engined only to boot out Ashok Gehloot? Let me also bring in our executive editor Niranjan, who's joining us from the Mumbai newsroom. The rift within the Rajasthan Congress is only widening, Niranjan, but it seems that there is credence to this entire thought that Sachin Pilot could actually float his own party if his demands are not met with.
Well, absolutely. You know, something similar that's also playing out in Chhattisgarh, Shawan, and very interestingly, TS Singh Dio in Chhattisgarh is doing exactly the same thing that Sachin Pilot is doing. Both of them touted to be CMs at one point, never got to the Chief Minister's post. But this time around, we are hearing from our sources within both the Sachin Pilot camp and also those who are aware of the matter, saying that Sachin Pilot this time has dug in his heels. How many times have we been through this exact same position before, Shawan, where Sachin Pilot has spoken out of turn, and this time I think he's gone one step forward, directly challenging Ashok Gehloot on his performance and also challenging him on actions taken as the Chief Minister. So this time We are told he's got a timeline in mind. About 3 months is what he will, give to this entire issue. Wait and watch, and then there is a huge possibility that if things don't go his way, which it may not, because if the Congress party does anything drastic at this point, because Ashok Gehlot is clearly in charge of things in the Congress party in Rajasthan, there is no two ways about it. He's not going to give in, because even the high command within the Congress party had to intervene the last time, and it appeared. And how many times? I think we've lost count of the number of public spats they've had now. This time he's made up his mind. He's got a timeline in mind, about 3 months. He may not join another party, but there is a huge possibility of him launching his own party. And those who know Sachin Pilot, those who speak to him, those who speak to his camp, it's very clear that they are not going to give in. They believe that going into the next election with Gehlot as the face may not really help the Congress party.
Well, we are also getting in some reactions now coming in from the BJP. Just about yesterday, we've had former Union Minister speaking to Republic TV saying that this is now coming on a platter to the BJP. Let me also go across to CP Joshi of the BJP joining us on this broadcast. Joshi साहब बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद रिपब्लिक टीवी से बात करने के लिए. सीधा सवाल ये करूंगा, सचिन पायलट के ये धरना को लेकर सवाल ये उठाया जा रहा कि ऐसा हो सकता है कि सचिन पायलट खुद की पार्टी फ्लोट करे, या दूसरी तरह से ये देखा जाए कि जो अल्टीमेटम दिया जा रहा था, हाईकमांड को अल्टीमेटम दिया जा रहा था कि उन्हें मुख्यमंत्री बनाया जाए या मुख्यमंत्री के फेस बनाया जाए, और कहीं ना कहीं ये कांग्रेस पार्टी खुद इस पूरे रिबेलियन को इंजीनियर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
देखिए, मैं राजेंद्र राठौड़ हूं, मैं लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन हूं. मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
राजेंद्र जी, इससे पहले सीपी जोशी साहब के लाइन लगा हुआ था, इसलिए मैं सवाल कर रहा था. आपसे ये सवाल करूंगा, लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन होने के नाते कहीं ना कहीं जिस तरह से बीजेपी को ये देखा जा रहा था, बीजेपी के लिए एक तरह से इलेक्शन से पहले एक बहुत बड़ा गिफ्ट है सचिन पायलट की ओर से, खुद के ही सरकार के खिलाफ वो धरना कर रहे हैं.
देखिए, ये सरकार अंतर्द्वंद से ही इस सरकार का जन्म हुआ था. इसका अंत भी अंतर्द्वंद से ही होगा. आला कमान के दूत यहाँ आए थे जब सत्ता परिवर्तन की बात चली थी, तब अशोक गहलोत जी ने तुरुप चाल चली थी और 92 विधायकों का त्याग पत्र दिलवाया था. उसके बाद सचिन पायलट जी ने अपना पेशेंस रखा, धैर्य रखा, परंतु लगातार उनकी उपेक्षा होती रही, और जिस प्रकार के शब्दों से उनको नवाजा गया था, अशोक जी गहलोत ने कभी निकम्मा कहा, कभी निर्लज कहा, कभी गद्दार कहा, और अब वो अपनी सरकार के विरुद्ध में धरने पर बैठे हैं, पर कंधे का सहारा ले रहे हैं पूर्ववर्ती भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार का. मैंने आज प्रेस के लोगों ने मुझसे बात की, तब भी मैंने कहा था सचिन पायलट लगभग 20 महीने इस राज्य के उप मुख्यमंत्री रहे. कई कैबिनेट की बैठक हुई, इसमें कभी उन्होंने सवाल नहीं किया पूर्ववर्ती सरकार का क्या भ्रष्टाचार था, क्या नहीं था. एक शब्द विधानसभा में बोले नहीं. यकायक पूर्ववर्ती सरकार के बहाने से अपनी सरकार पर भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप लगा रहे हैं. अच्छा रहता कि अपनी खुद की सरकार में, जहां मुख्यमंत्री जी की सरपरस्ती के अंदर 200 विधानसभा में मिनी मुख्यमंत्री बनकर लूट और घसोट का वातावरण बना हुआ है. कभी बिजली में घोटाला, खरीद में घोटाला होता है, कभी कोयला खरीद में घोटाला होता है, कभी बिजली कनेक्शन में घोटाला होता है, कभी जल जीवन मिशन में जल कनेक्शन में घोटाला होता है. उन पर चर्चा करने तो ठीक थे, पर अब मेरी नजर में इस पूरी सरकार के सर्वाइवल पर प्रश्न चिन्ह लग गया. ये अपने कार्यकाल के अंतिम 6-8 महीने पूरा करेगी कि नहीं, ये प्रश्न चिन्ह है. हेलो
राजेंद्र जी, एक और सवाल करना चाहूंगा. कांग्रेस के नेता कुछ देर पहले हमारे शो पर आके ये कहते हैं कि सीबीआई की जांच होनी चाहिए, वसुंधरा के ऊपर जो कई सारे आरोप लगे उनके ऊपर जांच होनी चाहिए, और कहीं ना कहीं साठगांठ है बीजेपी और कांग्रेस के कुछ नेता और आपके पार्टी के कुछ नेता के बीच में साठगांठ है. इसी कारण अशोक गहलोत उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई नहीं कर रही है, ये आरोप लग रहा है आप पे.
आरोपों में कोई दम नहीं. पिछली सरकार के कार्यकाल को गुजरे हुए 4 साल 5 महीने हो गए हैं. इतने दिन तक ये चुप क्यों रहे? किसने कहा था इनको चुप रहो? ये जो नेता आज सेखी बघार रहे हैं, ये उस वक्त कहां थे? ये अपनी ही खुद की सरकार पर विधानसभा में आरोप लगाने वाले नेता आज कंधा ढूंढ रहे हैं. मैं सचिन पायलट जी को कहूंगा कि हिम्मत करके जब लड़ाई में उतर ही गए तो सीधी लड़ाई लड़ने खंदक की, कंधा क्यों ढूंढ रहे हो? और पूर्वी सरकार पर जब वो कह रहे हैं आरोप है तो किसने मना किया था? हम तो कभी हाथ जोड़ने गए नहीं थे कि हमारे पर जो हमारे खिलाफ जांच मत कराओ। मैं भी पिछली सरकार में मंत्री था और मैं कह सकता हूं कि ये जितनी कोशिश करें वो कोशिश कर लें, पिछली सरकार पर तिनक भर भी आरोप ये सही लगा नहीं पाएंगे। सब आरोप राजनीति से प्रेरित है इनके।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद राजेंद्र सिंह राठौर. That was the LOP of Rajasthan speaking to Republic TV, raising questions about the intentions perhaps that the former Deputy Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Sachin Pilot, essentially has. Let me quickly bring in my colleague Amardeep, who's also joining us from outside Sachin Pilot's residence in Jaipur. Amardeep, सबसे पहले तो ये जानना चाहूंगा कि सचिन पायलट के घर में अब कैसा हलचल है, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं ये देखा जा रहा था कि जब उन्होंने धरना के लिए ये कॉल किया तो कई सारे उनके जो विधायक हैं उनके सपोर्ट में बात करने लगे, सवाल ये उठाने लग गए कि अशोक गहलोत कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं कर रहे. पर इसके पीछे एक बड़ी स्टोरी है, वो ये है कि कहीं ना कहीं सचिन पायलट एक 3 महीने की टाइमलाइन की बात कर रहे हैं कि अगर वो 3 महीने में उनको मुख्यमंत्री की फेस नहीं बनाया जाता है कांग्रेस पार्टी से तो वो खुद की पार्टी निकाल सकते हैं, ये कहा जा रहा है. और दूसरी बात ये कहा जा रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं ये जो पूरी धरना की बात हो रही है एक तरह से ये इंजीनियर्ड है, क्योंकि वो चाहते कि अशोक गहलोत को हटाया जाए. क्या हो रहा है?
देखिए, सबसे पहली चीज़ तो ये कि अशोक गहलोत और सचिन पायलट की राइवलरी जो है, वो जो लड़ाई है वो अब से नहीं है, शुरुआत से है. दूसरी चीज़ ये कि सचिन पायलट के बंगले के ठीक बाहर मैं खड़ा हुआ हूँ और इस तरीके की हलचल कभी यहाँ रहती नहीं है. ये जितनी शांति यहाँ दिखाई दे रही है इतनी शांति कभी रही नहीं है, क्योंकि जब सचिन पायलट जयपुर में होते हैं और अंदर बंगले में होते हैं तो यहाँ पे समर्थकों का तांता लगता है, यहाँ पे MLA जाते हैं. लेकिन जब से ये धरना कॉल हुआ है सचिन पायलट की तरफ से, तब से लेकर के आज तक अभी तक ना कोई विधायक मिलने के लिए आ रहा है, या हो सकता है कि सचिन पायलट ने खुद ने विधायकों को दूर रखने की सलाह दी हो. दूसरी चीज ये है कि तूफान से पहले की शांति भी हो सकती है, इससे इनकार नहीं किया जा सकता. सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि जिस तरीके से धरना कॉल किया है और अचानक से प्रेस बुला करके सचिन पायलट ने जिस तरीके से अपने ही मुख्यमंत्री को कटघरे में खड़ा किया, तो इससे इनकार नहीं किया जा सकता कि 25 सितंबर को जिस तरीके से दिल्ली से आला कमान के 2 बड़े लीडर्स यहाँ पे आए थे उस वक्त के, खड़गे और अजय माकन, वो यहाँ मुख्यमंत्री का चेहरा चेंज करना चाहते थे. लेकिन अशोक गहलोत ने सचिन पायलट से बाजी छीन करके अपने वापस से स्थिति जो है वो मजबूत कर ली थी. तो इससे इनकार नहीं किया जा सकता कि डेडलॉक था, 3 महीने का डेडलॉक था जो टूटने के कगार पर है. क्योंकि अभी से कुछ देर पहले एक ट्वीट सचिन पायलट ने किया, उस ट्वीट में सबसे अच्छी चीज जो साइन निकल के आ रहा है उसमें खुशी और स्वाभिमान दोनों की बात की है कि मन में खुशी है. मन में खुशी किस चीज़ की होगी? और अंतिम लाइन में लिखा है कि राजस्थान के स्वाभिमान की बात है. तो राजस्थान के स्वाभिमान की बात कैसे हो सकती है, समझा जा सकता है, क्योंकि इस सिचुएशन में अगर एक ट्वीट वो करते हैं तो राजनीतिक मायने उसके निकालने बहुत ज़्यादा जरूरी हो जाते हैं. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ ये है कि कल कितने समर्थक पहुंचेंगे, क्योंकि कल सिर्फ और सिर्फ समर्थकों को कॉल किया गया है. जिस तरीके से हमारे सोर्सेज हैं वो ये बताते हैं कि सचिन पायलट के समर्थक जो हैं वो शहीद स्मारक पर इकट्ठा होंगे. विधायक जो पायलट कैंप के हैं वो मौजूद नहीं रहेंगे. सिर्फ और सिर्फ रामधुनी चलेगी और एकांत में बैठ करके लगातार रामधुनी करते हुए सचिन पायलट दिखाई देंगे. दूसरी तरफ सुखविंदर रंधावा जो हैं, जो कि प्रभारी हैं कांग्रेस के, वो कल आ रहे हैं. और सुनने में ये भी आ रहा है कि कल दोपहर के बाद में CM अशोक गहलोत और सुखविंदर रंधावा जो प्रभारी हैं वो PC कर सकते हैं. PC अगर होगी तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि कुछ ना कुछ बड़ा बोला जाएगा, क्योंकि अशोक गहलोत इस तरीके के PC ऐसे स्टैंड लेकर के नहीं करते. और जब PC की कॉल की जाती है तो कुछ बड़ा निकलता है और बड़ा बोलते भी हैं अशोक गहलोत. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज निकल के जो सामने आई वो ये बात आई है कि अब तक आलाकमान के जितने भी बड़े नेता थे, चाहे जयराम रमेश की बात हो, चाहे पवन खेड़ा की बात हो, चाहे फिर सुखजिंदर रंधावा की बात हो, इन तमाम लोगों ने जो स्टैंड लिया है, जो बयान दिए हैं, वो सचिन पायलट के पक्ष में नहीं दिए, अशोक गहलोत के पक्ष में दिए. और सबने ये कहा है कि बजट अच्छा दिया है और ये तमाम चीजें दी हैं. तो कहीं ना कहीं ये संकेत जो है वो कांग्रेस पार्टी और सचिन पायलट के लिए ठीक नहीं है, यानी कि आला कमान भी अब अपना रुख स्पष्ट करना चाहता है.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अमरदीप. We'll keep a close watch on what's really happening. The dharna is likely to take place tomorrow, and the 3-month timeline. that Sachin Pilot is essentially working on? Does this mean that the crisis within the Rajasthan Congress is only deepening, not just in the state of Maharashtra? Now we see a similar story once again panning out in the state of Rajasthan. News and updates continue on the other side.
Mediation will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court.
Mediation will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
The India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow, and that is the opportunity that we have before us.
I believe that you are soaked in the philosophy of nation first. Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can.
Was there an email that was sent to you from Shashi Tharoor asking for help on?
You show me the mail.
The fact is that you are saying there is an email on you.
Do you continue serving the army with the same zest that you have always?
Oh yes.
तो पूरा रिहायशी इलाका इसको ये ना सर्च ऑपरेशन इस टाइम चल रहा है। डीजीपी ने खुद कहा कि 10 लोगों की पुष्टि हमने कर दी है, जो 10 लोग मारे गए।
ये भारत के लोगों की जीत है।
स्थिति तनावपूर्ण है। ठीक लाल किले के सामने मैं इस वक्त मौजूद हूं। कथित लोग हैं जो दरअसल यहां इन्होंने पूरा उत्पात मचाया हुआ है।
सर, आज राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री है, इतने लोगों की डेथ हो गई है सर, लेकिन कोई जवाब नहीं है सर। अब तक एक्शन को लेकर भी कुछ नहीं किया सर।
Shankar, are you apologetic or not? Shankar, are you apologetic or not? These are the visuals of Shankar Mishra accused who is being taken for the medical and then towards.
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
Mediation coalition will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही है, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
Was there an email that was sent to you from Shashi Tharoor asking for help on?
You show me the mail.
The fact is that you are saying there was an email on.
Do you continue serving the army with the same zest that you have always?
Oh yes.
तो पूरा रिहायशी इलाका इसको ये ना सर्च ऑपरेशन इस टाइम चल रहा है। डीजीपी ने खुद कहा कि 10 लोगों की पुष्टि हमने कर दी है, जो 10 लोग मारे गए।
स्थिति तनावपूर्ण है। ठीक लाल किले के सामने मैं इस वक्त मौजूद हूं। कथित लोग हैं जो दरअसल यहां इन्होंने पूरा उत्पात मचाया हुआ है।
सर, आज राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री है, इतने लोगों की डेथ हो गई है सर, लेकिन कोई जवाब नहीं है सर। अब तक एक्शन को लेकर भी कुछ नहीं किया सर।
Shankar, are you apologetic or not? Shankar, are you apologetic or not? These are the visuals of Shankar Mishra accused who is being taken for the medical and then towards.
The rift between Sachin Pilot and the Congress continues to widen. Sources reveal it's a make or break for the Congress leader Sachin Pilot this time around. The biggest political story nobody is talking about, sources tell Republic, Ajit Pawar is looking to explore his options yet again. Amit Shah visits the border areas near the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh. It's a rattle China already opposing the visit. Amritpal's closest aide is arrested from Amritsar. Sources suggest he's going to be next taken to the state of Assam. And Elon Musk sparking a row with the BBC, labels a broadcaster a quote-unquote government-funded media. A very good evening and thank you for staying with us on Republic. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. We begin this edition of the news with our top focus story that remain again a top focus as far as the government is concerned. The major push when it comes to development and also talking of our sovereignty. A clear reminder to China that whatever you might want to do, whatever you might want to say about our ministers wanting to visit the Northeast will not be tolerated. Now, just days after China's renaming provocation, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah was in the state of Arunachal. That's the image on the left of your screens. In fact, he was launching the Vibrant Villages program in Kibithu. This is a village along the India-China border in the state, and he says nobody ever can think of encroaching Indian land.
के लिए भी लगभग 15,000 किलोमीटर से लंबी भूमि सीमा को हमने सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से कोई इसके अंदर कोई गोताही नहीं बरतते। हमारी नीति स्पष्ट है, हम सबसे शांति चाहते हैं, मगर हमारे देश की एक इंच भूमि पर भी कोई अतिक्रमण नहीं कर सकेगा। हमारी सेना और हमारी सीमा इसके सम्मान के साथ कोई समझौता नहीं कर सकेगा। ये हमारी सरकार की नीति है, नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार की नीति, और इसके कारण हमने सीमाओं की सुरक्षा को ही राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा माना है। इसके आगे और कोई संदेश हो नहीं सकता। सीमा की सुरक्षा ही राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा होती है। 1963 में टाइम मैगजीन में भी लिखा कि जो किबुत में लड़ाई हुई, वो लड़ाई के अंदर भारतीय सेना के पास हथियार तो कम थे, मगर वीरता समग्र विश्व की सेनाओं से सबसे भरपूर वीरता थी तो भारतीय जवानों में थी। और मित्रों, आज पूरा देश निश्चिंत होकर सो रहा है, चाहे हमारी किसी भी सीमा हो, अरुणाचल का प्रदेश हो, लद्दाख का प्रदेश हो, कश्मीर हो या कोई भी प्रदेश हो, हम निश्चिंत होकर देश के मध्य भाग में, देश के उत्तरी भाग में सो रहे हैं। इसका कारण हमारे हिमवीर आईटीबीपी के जवान और हमारी थल सेना का पराक्रम और उनका त्याग और बलिदान है। उन्हीं के कारण कोई भी हमारी सीमा पर आंख उठाकर देख नहीं सकता। और आज हम गर्व के साथ कहते हैं, वो जमाने चले गए जब भारत की भूमि का कोई अतिक्रमण कर सकता था। आई सौ की सुई की नोक जितनी भूमि का भी अतिक्रमण कोई नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि आईटीबीपी और भारतीय सेना यहां पर उपस्थित है।
So you've just heard that very sharp counter that has come in from the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. And why is that important? Because this visit, remember, is coming just days after China unilaterally wanted to rename about 11 places in the state of Arunachal. This included mountain peaks, it included residential areas and rivers, claiming that they actually are a part of South Tibet. So here comes that very, very sharp counter by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who unequivocally says that nobody, absolutely nobody, can encroach on Indian land. You would recall the Indian government earlier has also rejected all these claims, these announcements saying that China clearly has no territorial claims in the region, and hence these attempts of provocation are absolutely baseless. If you would recall, Beijing earlier has also tried to do that at least on 2 other occasions, and on both those occasions it was called out by New Delhi. But this time around you have Amit Shah's visit to the state of Arunachal that exemplifies what many are saying is a huge show of strength in response to that attempt by China and its entire provocation, and also at a time where you already have the talks that continue between the governments of both the countries underway. And like I said, China earlier has been spooked by that visit of the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The reason why, they said that this is a violation of Beijing's territorial sovereignty. We listen in right now to what Beijing has to say.
Jiangnan is China's territory. The Indian senior officials' activities in this area violates China's sovereignty, is China's territorial sovereignty, and is not conducive to peace and tranquility in the border region. We firmly oppose it. Pakistan is China's territory. The Indian senior officials' activities in this area violates China's sovereignty, is China's territorial sovereignty, and is not conducive to peace and tranquility in the border region. We firmly oppose it.
And breaking news is coming in. We are learning that 4 people have lost their lives, about 1,000 injured in a blast in Sher-e-Iqbal area of Quetta in Pakistan. These are the first images that you see on your screens. Gursimran is joining us on the phone line. Gursimran, what more do we know about what happened? Any eyewitness accounts?
See, a blast has taken place in the Quetta. This is a Sher-e-Iqbal market where this blast has taken place that has taken away the lives of 4 people and more than 1 dozen have been injured. We are being told that it was at around 4:30 when this incident has taken place, and there have been injuries to the 2 cops as well because out of the 4 those who have been killed in this blast that has taken place, 2 are the police personnel and over 12 have sustained injuries. This specific area is the Kandari Bazaar on Sher-e-Iqbal, Quetta. And as per the police officials, the target of the blast was a police vehicle. The explosive was planted in a motorcycle that blew off and has taken 4 lives so far and more than a dozen are injured. Now, some of the eyewitnesses are saying that it was all of a sudden that a parked vehicle blasted near the police vehicle, which has led to the 2 casualties of the police as well as 2 other civilians. Yes.
Okay, Gursimran, thank you. I think we also have Kaswar with us, who's joining us live right now. Kaswar, what more can you add to what we do know? There are reports of 4 people having lost their lives, and it is said a police vehicle was the target, and apparently you also have few policemen who've been killed in this attack.
Well, it's a sad story coming out of Pakistan's Quetta this time. And according to my sources, 7 people have been lost, including 3 police officials, and more than 17 have been injured as a result of this bomb blast. No organization has taken responsibility of the blast, according to the police official. They have confirmed it. But let me tell you one thing, that is 2 days before, Pakistan's federal cabinet given a go-ahead to Pakistan security forces to launch a crackdown on the militant, including Balochistan Liberation Army, TTP, ISIS, and other side of the terrorist organization as well. And after that announcement, we have seen that such type of bomb blasts which have killed 4 police officials. It is a sign that the militants have have formulated a strategy as tit for tat. So this is all what I can tell you at the moment but it's a sad story, because I can tell you one more thing, that is militants normally do not strike in a month of Ramadan, but definitely 2 days before, when civilian and the military leadership decide to launch a crackdown. And according to my information, the crackdown has been launched in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and some part of Balochistan province as well. And today's blast could be a result of that, newly launched offensive against the terrorist organization as well. But as I told you earlier, no organization has taken responsibility of this attack, but a wave of terror and wave of uneasiness has been spread across Pakistan following this bomb blast.
So, Kaswar, let's look at the big picture. Pakistan already is in massive amount of trouble. You have terror that continues to emanate again from its backyard, and many say possibly it's the Pakistani Taliban again behind this attack. And, not even thinking that this is a pious month, they do not even think twice before, I think, targeting people, targeting the civilians. So what is the larger message here going in for the deep state?
Well, you have rightly pointed out. We have seen in the past as well, the terrorist organizations have been targeting the civilians as well as the law enforcement agencies as well. Remember, more than 100 people, mostly the policemen, were killed in Peshawar as a result of attack on a mosque inside police headquarters there. And as you have rightly pointed out, Pakistan has claimed to arrest the leader of defunct terrorist organization from Balochistan, and that was a major breakthrough as we were told by the government of Pakistan and law enforcement agencies. And today's attack could be the result of that arrest as well. Could be a retaliatory attack of that arrest as well. But as I told you earlier, the government of Pakistan, as civilians as well as the military leadership, has decided to launch another offensive because a newly launched terrorist wave have blocked Pakistan since 2 months, and it is going across Pakistan as well. So that was perhaps the fact that prompted the Pakistani side to launch crackdown against the militant organization. But on the other hand, today's attack is a message for the people and as well as the government and the law enforcement agencies of Pakistan by the terrorist organization. If the crackdown is launched, definitely we are prepared. But let me tell you, the police and the law enforcement agency, among the law enforcement agencies, the police organization as well as the civilians are a prime target, being the soft target in Pakistan. So this is what I can tell you at the moment. But a new wave of terrorism has rocked Pakistan, began with today's bomb blast in Quetta.
And once again, Kaswar, you have the deep state, you have the elected government there that many say is looking very, very helpless right now. These are dramatic images coming to us from Pakistan, where another blast has been reported. 4 people already have lost their lives and many are said to be injured. After a break, Amritpal's closest aide is arrested from Amritsar, and sources say he's going to be taken next to Assam.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
The India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow, and that is the opportunity that we have before us.
I believe that you are soaked in the philosophy of nation first. Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you, without the system approving it.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
the India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow. And that is the opportunity.
Welcome back. You're watching Republic and we are getting you this story now, developing it from the state of Jharkhand, where a clash broke out between two groups in Jamshedpur. This over the desecration of a religious flag, this in the Shastri Nagar area. What happened then is that the police quickly imposed the prohibitory orders under section 144 of the CRPC, and a lot of preventive detentions have also been made. Our next story tells you more about what led to this entire chaos in the first place.
Brick-batting and arson took place between two groups over alleged desecration of a religious flag at Shastri Nagar in Jharkhand's Jamshedpur on Sunday evening. Which prompted the authorities to impose prohibitory orders under section 144 of CRPC in the locality on Sunday evening. Following the violence, they also suspended internet services in the area. Security forces also conducted a flag march today in Kadma police station area following the stone pelting and arson.
Forces were deployed from earlier also, then we reinforced the forces. And then situation were taken under control. Prohibitory order is in place. It is right now, it is up to evening, but we are assessing the situation. If need be, we will extend that also.
Tension has been brewing in Jamshedpur since Saturday night when members of a local organization found that a religious flag was desecrated. Notably, over 50 people, including state BJP leader Bay Singh, have been arrested in connection with the violence.
This is not the first incident of its kind in Jamshedpur. So this government is totally practicing the policy of appeasement and vote bank politics. But we are telling you, Mr. Chief Minister, you have to put these offenders under the book. You have to book them. Otherwise, we'll stage a massive protest throughout the state against your appeasement policies.
इस विषय को छोड़कर इनके पास बोलने का कोई और विषय है? मैं इतना दावे के साथ कहता हूं कि जैसे जैसे चुनाव नजदीक आते हैं, इस तरह की घटनाएं बढ़ती हैं और उसमें पूरी तरह से प्रत्यक्ष परोक्ष रूप से भाजपा वालों का हाथ होता है। इसकी जांच होगी, हम लोग देखेंगे, सरकार देखेगी कि किस व्यक्ति ने, किस संगठन ने इस तरह की हरकत की है, चाहे किसी धर्म का हो, वो बचेगा नहीं।
Meanwhile, East Singhbhum District Deputy Commissioner Vijay Jadhav had said that some anti-social elements were trying to disturb peace and sought the cooperation of people to foil their plot. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
After a break, this is the biggest political story nobody is talking about. Sources tell Republic, Ajit Pawar possibly could be looking at exploring his options once again. What will this mean for the MVA and for the opposition unity? All details on that after this quick break.
Amity faculty have filed over 1,800 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been ranked among the top for innovation achievements.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow. And that is the opportunity that we have before us.
I believe that you are soaked in the philosophy of nation first. Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you without the system approving it.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी।
In a massive embarrassment for the JDS, many people in a village in Ramnagar Assembly constituency went ahead and Geraud, the son of former Chief Minister of Karnataka, and Nikhil Kumaraswamy was Geraud, stating that there was no sort of work which was being done by him or neither his mother as well, and the people were angry because an irrigation project which was inaugurated 5 years ago had not seen the day of the light, because apart from inauguration and ground laying ceremony, nothing was done by Anita Kumaraswamy, and therefore the villagers slammed Nikhil Kumaraswamy for coming to them and seeking votes. Otherwise, they wouldn't vote for him, and they also questioned the absence of Anita Kumaraswamy and questioned where she was, because it's been 5 years since she was voted into power, but till date she had not come to the constituency apart from the day when she had sought votes and apart from the day when she had won as well. And this had definitely left the JDS party red-faced, because this comes in their own stronghold in Ramnagar as well, and Nikhil Kumaraswamy has stated that the people this time around should vote for him as well, but the people have stated that they will neither vote for him or any other political parties until all their works are completed.
Mediation will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court.
Amity faculty have filed over 1800 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been ranked among the top for innovation achievements.
The India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow. And that is the opportunity that we have before us.
I believe that you are soaked in the philosophy of nation first. Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you without the system approving it.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
The India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow. And that is the opportunity that we have before us.
I believe that you are soaked in the philosophy of nation first.
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. You're watching the biggest story tonight. It's 7 p.m. and we have some big news from Maharashtra. News that every channel is likely to follow. Political tremors. Soon. Here are the headlines. Sources say Ajit Pawar is looking at political options in Maharashtra. Maharashtra BJP confirms that some leaders are in touch. Congress panic, says monitoring and updating High Command on every single move in Maharashtra. It's also make or break for Sachin Pilot. His camp is indicating that it's almost end of the road in the Congress party. Sources say Pilot is keen on forming a new party, then joining one. Amit Shah visits Arunachal Pradesh, sends a tough message to China, which is rattled with the visit, issues a formal statement. Amit Shah's visit a week after China tried a stunt by renaming a few villages in Arunachal Pradesh. Getting in a big breaking news update on the biggest story tonight. In fact, in Maharashtra for the last 1 week, political parties, especially those in the Mahavikas Aghadi, have been on the edge. Primarily because of what Sharad Pawar has said, what Ajit Pawar is saying. More importantly, they're all watching what Sharad Pawar will do next, which way Ajit Pawar will go next. In fact, we have a big breaking news update on the biggest story tonight. For the first time, you have a leader of the BJP confirming that big developments are expected in the state of Maharashtra. For the first time, a BJP leader confirming or indicating on record that perhaps talks are on between the BJP and the NCP. That's the big story, the big breaking update on the show this evening. Let's listen in.
अबे वो मेरा एक कहावत है कि आप कर्नाटक में जाके देखिए, बोल रहा हूँ उनको, कर्नाटक में क्या बीजेपी की हालत है वो थोड़ा जाके देखिए और बाद में ये सवाल महाराष्ट्र में कीजिए।
अबे वो मेरा एक कहावत है कि आप कर्नाटक में जाके देखिए, बोल रहा हूँ उनको, कर्नाटक में क्या बीजेपी की हालत है वो थोड़ा जाके देखिए और बाद में ये सवाल महाराष्ट्र में कीजिए।
Us on the broadcast this evening, Alisha is joining us with details of what the BJP leader has said on record. Alisha, for the first time perhaps a BJP leader going on record to say that talks are on and that it's true that something is in the works.
Well, yes, Narendra, because we have been seeing a continuous activity in Maharashtra from the past few days, and here comes the BJP MLC, who has also been known as a very close confidant of Devendra Fadnavis. Prasad Lad, while speaking to Republic with Sandeep, he has confirmed that there are some BJP activities which is ongoing in Maharashtra. Also, he said that it is very immature at this situation that we cannot name the leaders who are in touch with BJP. Even we heard the statement from BJP State President Chandrasekhar Bavanpule, who clearly mentioned before 2024 there will be many leaders from the opposition who are willing to join BJP. So it will be can be seen like in the last days situation, as we have been witnessing, there are secrets meeting which has been happening, or we can either say that Ajit Pawar has been trying to look and for an options now, and here is also the statement from BJP MLC Prasad Lad, who clearly says that yes, there are BJP activities in Maharashtra, there are leaders who wanted to join BJP. It is very immature at this point of time to name those leaders, but there are some of in the coming days there will be some politically development in the state of Maharashtra.
Stay with me. I have that reaction of the BJP leader. In fact, it's for the first time, that's the big breaking news update, Alisha. A BJP leader on record confirming that yes, something is up in Maharashtra. BJP leaders confirming that some leaders are in touch from the NCP. Let's listen in. Shawan is also joining us live. I would like to play out what the BJP leader said on record to Republic, and then we'll go across to Shawan.
मिस्टर लाड, जिस प्रकार से गतिविधियां महाराष्ट्र में फटाफट बदल रही हैं, उसको लेकर के कहीं ना कहीं आकलन लगाया जा रहा है, स्पेकुलेशंस हैं कि अजीत पवार बीजेपी के संपर्क में है और कहीं ना कहीं आने वाले बजट के पहले बदलाव देखने को मिल सकता है।
एक बात तो पक्की है कि पूरे हिंदुस्तान में बदलाव हो रहा है। आप अगर ए.के. एंटोनी के लड़के के बारे में देखेंगे, पंजाब में अकाली दल के बारे में देखेंगे, राजस्थान में जो गतिविधियां हो रही है उस बारे में देखेंगे, और 100% महाराष्ट्र में भी गतिविधियां हो रही है, क्योंकि राजनीति में राजनीति का काम करने वाले कार्यकर्ताओं को, नेताओं को अब ये मालूम पड़ चुका है कि 2024 में मोदी जी के अलावा आगे कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है। तो फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार आने वाली है, और मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि शायद हमारे राज्य के अध्यक्ष सम्माननीय चंद्रशेखर बावनकुले जी ने जो कहा है वो 100% सच होगा।
एक सवाल और भी है, क्या अजीत पवार आप लोगों के संपर्क में है?
देखिए, राजनीति में ऐसे मीडिया के सामने आके कोई कुछ बोलता नहीं है, और वो बोलना उचित भी नहीं होता। एक उलझे हुए राजनीतिकार के कारण मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा कि ऐसी स्टेटमेंट मीडिया के सामने करना ये अपने पैर के ऊपर कुराड़ी मारने जैसा होता है। लेकिन जो होगा आगे आगे देखिए होता है क्या।
ऑपरेशन लोटस कायम है?
ऑपरेशन लोटस की अब ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में 100% आने वाले दिनों में महापालिका हो, नगर पालिका हो, पंचायत समिति हो, जिला परिषद हो, विधानसभा हो या लोकसभा हो, पूरे के पूरे 45 से 48 सीट्स लोकसभा की हम जीतेंगे। विधानसभा में 200 से भी ज़्यादा सीटें लेकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी और शिवसेना की युति 100% यहाँ पर सरकार बनाएगी।
कहीं ना कहीं जिस प्रकार से कल देवेंद्र फडणवीस दिल्ली गए, उसके बाद खबरें आना शुरू हो गई कि जो बीजेपी की एक्टिविटी है वो महाराष्ट्र में काफ़ी तेज़ी से बढ़ रही है, और ये तब आ रहा है जब शरद पवार साहब ने भी स्टेटमेंट दिया है, प्रो मोदी स्टेटमेंट। मैं ये कहूँगा कि जिस प्रकार से अदानी को लेकर के सवाल उठाए गए थे कांग्रेस पार्टी के खिलाफ, कांग्रेस पार्टी द्वारा इनफैक्ट, उसको लेकर के अब पवार साहब ने उनके खिलाफ स्टेटमेंट दे दिया, कह दिया कि जेपीसी की ज़रूरत नहीं है। कोर्ट द्वारा जो है उसकी जांच हो। ये जो स्टेटमेंट है काफ़ी सवाल पैदा कर रहा है कि क्या महाविकास आघाड़ी एकत्रित है भी, तो क्या उनको पता है कि ये सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं?
मैं इस बारे में दो चीज़ कहना चाहूँगा। इस महाराष्ट्र के नेता और देश के ज्येष्ठ नेता शरद पवार साहब के खिलाफ कांग्रेस को बात करने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है। राजनीति का उनका अनुभव देखा जाए तो जो अलका लांबा जी ने उनके खिलाफ जो स्टेटमेंट दी है वो धिक्कारदायक स्टेटमेंट है, क्योंकि शरद पवार साहब कांग्रेस में भी रह चुके हैं, कांग्रेस के नेता रह चुके हैं और आज जो कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष है वो भी उनके साथ काम कर चुके हैं। मुझे लगता है कि अलका लांबा जैसे एक जूनियर कार्यकर्ता ने या जूनियर नेता ने पवार साहब के खिलाफ इतना बड़ा ट्वीट करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं थी। पवार साहब जानते हैं कि जेपीसी की वैल्यू क्या है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की गाइडलाइन की वैल्यू क्या है, तो मुझे लगता है इस बारे में बोलना अयोग्य है। और रही बात गतिविधियों की, तो गतिविधियां भाजपा की तरफ से हमेशा महाराष्ट्र में रही है। महाराष्ट्र के विकास के लिए गतिविधियां रही है। देवेंद्र जी के नेतृत्व में मुंबई और महाराष्ट्र को आगे बढ़ाने का काम हो रहा है। और पूरे महाराष्ट्र में जैसे एक वक्त पर शरद पवार जी के ऊपर कार्यकर्ताओं का, नेताओं का विश्वास हुआ करता था, आज वही विश्वास सब कार्यकर्ताओं को, नेताओं को, लोगों को देवेंद्र फडणवीस के ऊपर है कि उनके नेतृत्व में अगर